Okay, I know what you're probably thinking. You're thinking we just got over Halloween, it's not even Thanksgiving, and I have a tree up. Yes, yes. Traditionally in our family, we always like to have one tree. We call it our Thanksgiving tree. We don't call it a Christmas tree. In the dining room so that we can enjoy it. Now, normally we do leave the entire rest of the house quite autumnal. However, this year, since we're not hosting for Thanksgiving, I wanted to come back and have everything ready for us. So I decided it would be the perfect opportunity to share with you some tips and tricks on the best way to put, or the easiest way, fun way to put a tree together. Of course, the best ingredients are when you have friends and family and you're cooking and you're sharing wine, you're playing Christmas music, and this is normally what we do the entire weekend of Thanksgiving together as a family. However, like I said, since this year we're not hosting, I'm getting a jump start on it, and I'm here to show you how it's done. So there's lots of discussion every year about a real tree or an artificial tree. I will tell you, we do set up by Thanksgiving. So if we go with a real tree, it's a brown mess by the time Christmas comes around. Also, the thing I like about an artificial tree is if you're someone like me who suffers with allergies, you really don't want to bring all of that into the house. And I love the idea of being able to manipulate the tree exactly the way that I want it and not have to go around and prune the real tree to try to get it in the shape that you want it to look. So we go artificial, and I'm going to show you how to unfurl the tree so that it comes out looking as realistic as possible, but still leave space for all of your ornaments. So one of my favorite tips, and it will really make setting up the tree a lot more fun, is to sort of get stations set up. You'll notice that I chose to do the tree in the garage. Now, just to be transparent, the room that this is going to go in is right on the other side of that wall. So I'm not going to be carrying it too far. I wouldn't do it in the driveway or something. But you could certainly set up a station for you that's easier to work in. And this is also one of the benefits of having an artificial tree because it's a lot easier and lighter weight to move wherever you need it and to manipulate it. So I've set up all my containers here. They're in the order that I'm going to use them inside the house, so I don't have to sit here and search and think and waste a lot of time. I can get right to the tree decorating. So one of the things I wanted to share with you today is definitely branching, how to deal with the branches. How do you go from this that's been crammed in a box for a year to something like this? So if you come over a little bit closer, I'll show you what you want to do with the branches. So this branch is not unfurled yet. Okay, I have not started undoing this one. How you want to get the branches to look as natural as possible is to pull them in opposite directions. First, you want to do it in like just a straight out, pull straight out. Okay, pull it straight out in the direction that the manufacturer has set it to be at, just like you see here. Now this doesn't look very pretty. Now you've got to go back and you start doing, I do like to do a slight arc in it because that's the way trees naturally grow when they're looking for sunlight for photosynthesis. And then I like to take the tips and turn them slightly upward so that when I go to hang on the ornaments, I'm not sitting here searching for the end of the branches. Another great tip when you're setting up your branches is to go ahead and let them overlap with the next one. Not perfectly, but every other one is really ideal because that's the way trees grow in nature. Then, of course, what you need to do is you need to step back, okay, and take a look at it and see if there's anything that's really strange or looks really unnatural that would never happen in nature. Also, if your tree's too perfect, it's not going to look natural either. So lets a little bit of the tension off. It doesn't have to be perfect. I think that having it have that organic look, it's not going to be perfect. I don't like when I'm looking at an artificial tree and I can see all the way through every single one of the layers of branches. So I try to manipulate my tree so that it looks really full. and yet as natural as possible. All right, the other thing I want to say is that once you get the 3 parts together, this is a 9-foot tree, a little over 9 feet, so it has 3 different sections. Once the entire thing is together, that's when you want to kind of do your final walkthrough and look at it, make little adjustments, and it's ready to carry into the next station inside the house, ready for lighting. I have a great tip for how to make your tree look like it's glowing from the inside out. Now, you guys know most of the time, you simply just put the lights on the tree, and you go around and around and around. And there are lots of different patterns. You can go in a candy cane, you can go branch by branch, you can go in and out, you can go around and then end in a triangle. There's lots of videos on YouTube, and a lot of other great artists have done in terms of decorating trees. But I have a little tip here that I like to do, especially for the main tree. It's going to go in our main living room area. I take one strand of lights, like this one right here, and I like to wrap it tightly around the trunk of the tree. This way, when you put the lights that we're going to use, these lights here, I'm going to follow up with these lights that are going to go on the tree, that you'll be able to be visible, but these will be wrapped around the trunk. And it's going to give the illusion that the tree is glowing. And it's really great when you have friends and family over and you have no lights on and the tree is glowing light enough that you could actually enjoy a glass of wine and have a good conversation. So you can see the lights are finally on the tree. So what have we done? We've taken the tree out of the box. We have unfurled it the best way possible. Then I took 2 strands of light and I went around only the trunk of the tree, okay? Just the trunk of the tree. It gives the tree an internal glow, if you will. Then what we did is we took the strands of light, and I'll tell you the technique that I wound up using with this. Instead of just kind of running around the tree, what we did was we put the cord on the limb, fed it into the bush, into the tree, all the way to the trunk, pulling it back out, and then wrapping it around the outer before taking it back internal again. And we did that back and forth motion with the lighting all the way around on every single level of the tree from the top to the bottom. So this is a 9.5-foot tree. And it's a thin tree. It's actually considered a pencil tree, even though it's a little bit wider than that because of the height. So we only used about 1,300 lights on this tree. And normally for a 9-foot tree, you're going to use between 1,000 and 1,500. But again, our tree is narrower, especially as it goes towards the top. So 1,300 was the perfect number. I love the glow. So once you have the lights on and you sort of maneuver the tree in the position you kind of want it to be in, you have to make the final decision of ribbon or no ribbon. Of course, this year we decided to go with the ribbon. I found this really exquisite ribbon fabric. I absolutely love it because you can see through it. It lets the light shine through, so when you hang an ornament, if it is dangling behind, you can still see the silhouette. It doesn't darken the tree. So it's one of the considerations that you want to think about if you are going to use ribbon, whether you're going to use something opaque or whether you're going to use something more translucent like we've used here. The next thing that you want to do in terms of decorating is you want to take the largest objects that you have and strategically place them around the tree. And don't be afraid to go up high with really large objects or balls. It works great. It helps the tree look really balanced and very unique. Then you're going to follow with your medium-sized ornaments, followed by your small ornaments, and then, I like a full tree, if you have any room left, you can go in and position fillers, or those old ornaments that are still shiny, but not maybe your favorite, and slide those in the dark spots. You're going to get exactly what you want. It's a great technique. So we've reached the point where the tree is now fully decorated. All right, so just to recap a little bit on ornaments, right? So we did have the tree, out a little bit further, about a couple of feet, so that you're able to work around the tree. We started with the largest ornaments, like these very large ones. These very large flowers are placed. You want to place them strategically around the tree, then go to your medium size, and then finish with your lighter ones. And then you want to do the fill-in at the very end if you have any dark spots. At that point, you're going to get down on the ground. You're going to slide the tree very gently into place. And then, from the movement, some of the ornaments are going to dislodge or what have you. That's completely normal. You're going to go back in and start setting, especially these larger ones, a little bit deeper and back into the tree, because they're going to shift a little bit. And some of these big ones, when you're looking at the tree, you don't want big things sticking out of it. So you can just simply go in and press them into the tree a little bit more, like I'm doing here. Okay, that was one that kind of fell out right here. And then, of course, I had to save the best for last. This is our ornament for Logan. And he always goes on the tree with our other baby, Bijou, who is no longer with us, but he's with us in our memories and always in our hearts. I hope these tips were good for you, and I hope that you're able to create a magical tree for a magical Christmas for yourself and for your family. Merry Christmas.